An AEW star's contract has expired and they are now a free agent. Plus, a top WWE star is missing Raw next week. And we have a major update on the future of AEW Dynamite and Collision. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Before we get into the news, some breaking news from the last few hours. Former WWE star McIntyre, who competed for the company as Mantaur, has passed away at the age of 55. The news was broken on social media just a few short hours ago by Mike's daughter, Demi.
Yes, Halleck began his pro wrestling career in the early 90s, working in Germany for Otto Wanz's CWA as Bruiser Mastino in 1991. In 94, he joined the World Wrestling Federation and, of course, became Mantaur, a play on the Greek legend of the Minotaur, with Halleck wearing an elaborate bull's head to the ring for his matches.
A striking look that saw him competing against some of the big names of the new generation era like Bret Hart, Bam Bam Bigelow and Razor Ramon. He also competed in the King of the Ring and the Royal Rumble in 1995.
After a brief stint in ECW in late 95 to early 96, Halleck returned to the WWF briefly as Goldust's bodyguard at In Your House 7, then became the masked combatant Tank in the Truth Commission in 1997.
He had one whole match in WCW, believe it or not, after his WWF career came to an end. He returned primarily to the CWA, where he was a regular until 2001. He made sporadic appearances on the independent scene. We actually saw him back in 2019 as part of Joey Janela's Spring Break 3, when he rebirthed Mantaur as part of that iconic battle royal.
Demi, Mike's daughter, posted on Facebook, "He will forever be in my heart and many others. I love you, Dad."
And we here at Cultaholic send our condolences to the friends and the family of Mike Halleck, aka Mantaur, who's passed away today at the age of 55. We've seen a few instances over the last month or so of AEW contracts coming to an end with no desire for them to stick around, and free agencies being once again entered into. Another one for you today in Brian Pillman Jr. What's the story, Jack?
This comes via PW Insider, who report that his contract has expired and not been renewed, which makes him a free agent. Brian Pillman Jr. signed in 2019 and did get a fair amount of airtime as part of the Varsity Blondes usually, but has only had 9 matches for AEW in 2023. That's including house shows and AEW Dark as well. So yeah, it's kind of, he's been used less and less, I think it's fair to say, as the years have gone on. He did, however, remain active during this time on the indie circuit, so hopefully for Brian Pillman Jr., he will be able to still, find bookings in different places.
If you go through Cage Match, you'll see that he's been one of the busiest boys. So like he's pretty much over most indie promotions, and I think now that he's back once again, to pardon the term, controlling his own narrative, you might see him back out and about doing even more so, which would be a lovely thing to see. I think Brian Pillman Jr. is an exceptionally talented guy, and I don't think we really got the best of him in AEW. I know initially there was a bit of a groundswell behind him. He had a showdown with MJF that I seem to remember really enjoying. I thought the Varsity Blondes stuff was
I like the Varsity
intriguing.
Blondes. I thought they were a throwback, just pure babyface tag team, just energetic boys, and I'm sad that they came to an end.
We'll look out for Brian Pillman Jr. doing his own thing very soon. Meanwhile, over on the WWE side of things, a top name isn't going to be on Monday Night Raw next week.
So Drew actually mentioned this on this week's Raw when Riddle said, "Bro, I'm going to wrestle Gunter next week." I didn't fully commit.
Wrestle Gunter next week.
Riddle went, "I'm going to wrestle Gunter next week," and Drew went, "Hold on there. I'm not going to be there next week. You need to be careful." And Riddle went, "It's okay, I got the rest of Imperium banned from ringside." Well, Drew was telling the truth. He really isn't going to be there next week because he is being cast in a new action movie called The Killer's Game, which will star Dave Bautista, or Batista, and Ice Cube. What's going on?
In a world where a world-weary assassin takes a hit out on themselves, they find a new reason to live after their girlfriend discovers that she is pregante. Together, they race across Europe trying to outrun his would-be killers. So he takes a hit out on himself realizes he wants to live, but now
they've got to go on the run.
Presumably can't just cancel
the hit.
Just cancel the hit, end of movie.
Cancel the hit. Sorry, guys. I'm presuming a deposit has been paid, so that's all right.
You just have to forgo the deposit. I think that's a happy exchange for life.
Yeah. We don't know who's playing who. Well, I don't know who's playing who, but I can't wait to find out the roles of Drew, Dave, and Ice as well.
I really want Drew to be one of the hit people.
I feel like that would make sense, wouldn't it? He's an intimidating guy.
He is. He's a big boy. And I think he also sees the merit in what guys like Batista have done, what guys like Roman Reigns wants to do, and of course what The Rock has done in making that transition into Hollywood.
I mean, I'm not optimistic just given that plot summary, but I will watch it. Though. I will be.
There's
watching.
A wrestler in it. We have to watch it.
I still need to watch Money Playing. With Edge.
You don't watch Money Playing?
No,
yet?
I never watched
Money. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Oh, okay. There's a casino
Edge
on a plane.
and Frazier on a casino in the sky.
Okay.
With hilarious results.
What's he doing there? He sits next to me in the office. Frazier.
They're calling again. Jeff Hardy is back on the indie scene for the first time since the 90s.
Modest to the top. This is a big show, this one, Tom, on the indie scene. It's GCW's My Name is GCW. No opponents or plans for Jeff have been revealed, but he is, I'm sure they'll throw the graphic up there, he's the focal point. It's all purple. His face is there. It's all in that style. It's a sad little emo boy show. No, I don't, no, it's good. No, but the lineup, I mean, the names they've announced, this seems like I know GCW do put on these big stacked cards, but this certainly seems like one of them.
Do you remember, because I mentioned like Jeff Hardy being back on the indies first time since the 90s, there was probably a little bit in between his WWE runs where he did Ring of Honor. He might have popped up elsewhere.
I don't see you say that, but I don't remember any specific examples.
Nor do I.
I remember Matt Hardy doing Ring of Honor, but I don't know about Jeff. Let us know if you know in the comments.
Let us know down there. Now, it's coming out of Detroit on August the 4th. It's going to also feature Leo Rush versus Impact Wrestling Speedball Mike Bailey.
Wow.
And Joey Janela taking on Commander.
Ooh.
Intriguing card. Also that night, Jeff Hardy's doing a concert after the show.
Modest to the top. I believe Joey Janela's got another big match coming up, Tom.
He has indeed. At North Wrestling Thunderstruck, Saturday, July the 15th, at the Walker Dome in Newcastle upon Tyne. Wow. North Wrestling's biggest show ever.
Who's he wrestling? Clint Margera, I think.
Clint Margera for the North Wrestling Ultra Violent Championship.
My word. I'll tell you who else is there. Gangrel, Scotty 2 Hottie, and all your North favourites as well. I'm not even part of it. I'm just jumping in on
you
sounded like that. Sounded really planned. I'll tell you who else is there, boys.
We planned this bit. What are you talking about? AEW's Mercedes Martinez is taking on standout British wrestling star in Rio, and Liam Slater defends the North Wrestling title in the main event against Leon Slater. Had a great chat with Liam Slater last night on Desert Island Graps. We talk about his time as part of WCPW, among other things.
I remember it well.
He had a great match with Cody Rhodes, which you can watch on the YouTube channel right now. And come and see us at the Walker Dome on Saturday in Newcastle. I'll be the one in the ring doing the ring announcing.
Yes.
Conflict of interest, this.
No,
never mind.
It's fine.
Come support us. Come along.
Friends.
Massive show. Speaking of Desert Island Graps, Mike Bailey joins me on Desert Island Graps today. I'm going to be chatting about Mike Bailey being landlocked, essentially, out of America for 5 years and how that became a massive positive for him.
It was a blessing in disguise, wasn't it?
It really was.
He got to spread his wings elsewhere.
Talks about Bowler. He won the Battle of Los Angeles this year as well. And of course, we talk about Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, where he will be in action in an Ultimate X match. But another match has now been added to Slammiversary, hasn't it, Joe?
Yes, the Death Dolls will be teaming with Jody Threat to face Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, and Jai Vidal in a trios match on the pre-show. The other match announced for the pre-show features Joe Hendry defending his digital media title once again. He's been defending that against all comers. He's taking on Kenny King, who he recently mocked in song for his previous work as a male stripper, which, come on, Joe. Get with the times, Joe. Joe's killing it in Impact. We're all so proud of him.
Oh, he's so proud. He does turn up at North on the fair few occasions, and it's a nice buzz to say, hey, look, there's the Impact Digital Media Championship here at North Wrestling. It's nice to see. Also for Slammiversary, the X Division title on the line with Saban taking on Leo Rush. Desert Island Graps guest Mike Bailey takes on Desert Island Graps guest Jonathan Gresham, and future Desert Island Graps guests, hopefully Angels, Kevin Knight and Kushida in an Ultimate X match. match.
And the Knockouts Tag Team Championship is on the line as the Coven take on the dangerous team of Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly.
Former Desert Island Graps guests, as well as Dirty Dango, former Desert Island Graps guest, taking on Santino Marella.
The next match is a bit confusing because there's been injuries hitting Impact. Unfortunately, they've had to switch around what was going to happen. I believe it was initially going to be PCO and Scott D'Amore taking on Bully Ray and
Steve Macklin.
Steve Macklin is now unfortunately injured. PCO is now unfortunately injured. Bully Ray has already announced his replacement tag partner is going to be Dina. Scott D'Amore's tag partner remains a mystery for now. You have a theory here.
Yeah, so I was chatting with Scott D'Amore last night on the Impact Wrestling Press Pass, and he didn't give too much away as to what the plan is for his tag partner on Saturday. But basically, he's out of the match because, you're not really in the mood to wrestle when you have battery acid poured down your throat and you're set on fire.
You're set on fire.
I think PCO is just going to turn up anyway.
Super PCO.
Still on
Flaming
fire.
PCO.
Yeah, still on fire after over a week.
It would be very PCO of him to do so.
I think we're getting PCO. And special enforcer NHL legend Darren McCarthy.
Oh, Darren's there.
Big Darren's in there. Maybe Darren could team with him.
Possibly. I shouldn't mock Darren. I'm sure he is a legend in the NHL.
In the Null.
Yes. The tag team champions, ABC, that's Ace Austin and Chris Bay, will take on the teams of Moose and Brian Myers and Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, and come on, boys, you can do it, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, aka Subculture. That should be a really good match. We've got. Should I pass on to you? Or
you can do another one if you like.
I'm being greedy. The Knockouts Championship is on the line as Deonna Purrazzo takes on Trinity, formerly known, of course, as Naomi in WWE.
If you fancy checking
finally,
out
the Impact World Champion Alex Shelley. Sorry, I left off one at the end. Alex Shelley will take on Nick Aldis as well.
It's all right. We were going to get to it. I was going to say.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We're doing all right today. We're doing okay.
Oh, God.
We're doing okay.
It's just all gone wrong.
It's because, mate, you know what? Our best day is better than most channels' worst.
Yeah, you're right.
Our worst day is better than most channels' best.
No!
And you know who you are.
What were you saying, sorry?
Deonna Purrazzo and Trinity, I was chatting with them last night on the press pass as well, and they have shot their shots for Stardom Dream matches as part of New Japan Multiverse United 2. You can check out my Twitter to see what they said to that one. Impact Slammiversary is going to be a nice old time this weekend.
Oh, God, it is.
Well done. Let's end on some news regarding Dynamite and Collision. Fightful Select have got some Warner Brothers discoveries to share.
Yes, they say that they can confirm, Fightful Select say, that Warner Brothers Discovery sources say that AEW has long been involved in TV rights extension talks. Those that they've spoken to say that the conversations have been ongoing for months, and they personally believe an announcement could be made this summer or fall, or autumn as we call it, for a deal reached. Warner Brothers Discovery sources tell Fightful that they've been very happy with AEW recently, especially the flexibility they've provided with adding and subtracting shows, providing different kinds of content, and working around preemptions and network changes. Yeah, I never really. We always do get things like, oh, here's a cheeky battle for the belts, or here's this week Rampage is going to have to be moved to a Saturday, and here's Collision now, and they work around things like sporting playoffs and big events like that.
They're fluid.
And I never really thought about that other than, they've been made to do that. But it will get them in the network's good books, their willingness to do so, certainly.
Now, this is interesting. Regarding the broadcast of AEW All In, we still don't know how and if we'll be able to watch it. We are told that it has been actively discussed as part of these talks, which suggests that it might be a TV special.
Wow.
As opposed to a pay-per-view.
That would be unbelievable.
Well, bear in mind, it's like a week out from the AEW's next pay-per-view.
True.
So they might not want to do 2 pay-per-views in a week.
That is, I'm not against it, obviously, but that's a big TV special, that, at Wembley Stadium. The Warner Brothers Discovery source did also confirm what Fightful have heard in the past, that the deal would be a huge money increase for AEW by the way things are looking now, which I can confirm, in my opinion, means they will bring in Roman Reigns and John Cena.
Yes, that's the best thing that will happen to AEW ever, and then we'll all rejoice.
Hooray.
Hooray, that's us rejoicing. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.